I am saying that Josh carries the podcast.
Pick one, you cowards.
Josh carries the podcast as much as you do, if anything.
Oh,
that hurts.
I'm just
so the my pro quest went great. The money. Whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo be with you, America's favorite TCG podcast. I am joined today by Snooki's #1 fan, Mitchell Murray. I am also joined. What? You love New Jersey. She's from the Jersey Shore. I thought you'd love it. I am also joined by the Pirate King, the Legion King, the King of FUD, Louis DeGeorge.
Why are we still on this King of FUD thing?
Because it's your new title.
I love how you're the one selling all your cards and I'm the King of FUD.
I've sold nothing.
I know you haven't. I'm trying.
I've sold literally nothing.
Oh my gosh. What is this? What is this podcast? What is this podcast?
I just want to talk about Snooki some more. Mitch, what are your thoughts?
So real talk, every week at work.
Yeah. Your New Jersey better than Texas take was about as bad as I thought it was.
I can get to Texas in 4 hours or less, 3 hours.
And you would still prefer to go to New Jersey all the time.
No, it's not a preference of like I prefer Texas over New Jersey. It's if I had a chance to travel out of New Jersey or Texas right now and it costs the same amount of money, I've never been to New Jersey. It would be fun to experiencing it for the first time. And then maybe I'm on the train where everybody hates New Jersey. You know what my favorite search query was? After everybody dunked on me, I Googled, why does everybody shit on New Jersey? You know what it says? That's like 5 Reddit things. And people are like, I live in New Jersey. It's great. It's awesome. I love New Jersey.
Okay.
It's a very common query, though. A lot of people are curious, why do people hate New Jersey so much? It was a very fascinating exploration.
My favorite comment on the comment section about it was, New Jersey sucks except for Jersey Mike subs.
Yeah, I can see that. I like Jersey Mike subs.
If I wasn't on
Subway.
My only reason to go was to go eat food. And it looks like there's a lot of great food options there. I'm just saying.
You can
Compared to Texas.
You can pick up a roll.
I've already eaten food in Austin and Houston, which has great food, and Dallas. Houston has an amazing food culture because of the diversity of cultures there. Okay.
Everyone, this is a TCG podcast, no longer a food podcast. Definitely not.
I'm going to go eat places. But I've eaten all over Texas. Some of the best restaurants. Let's go somewhere else.
Everyone, I want you listening.
I'm in a mood today.
You need to know. Mitch is in a mood. I'm in a mood, and
George is just being George. Mitch is going to take our moods to another level.
I
have one mood, and it's awesome. That's all. That's my only mood I have is awesome mood.
George, who changes his mind depending on what podcast he's on about what his feelings are and things.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Today,
I have to be nice to you, and I have to be nice to you in everything but your podcast. Today, we're going to talk about everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. We have a very you won't see this coming. We're going to talk about Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Metazoo. Okay, good. You can find us. I'm not done yet, Boo Boo.
Yeah, you forgot about that.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Play, Android Play.
Wherever you like to listen to
wherever
you're
listening to this already, you can find us there too. How do I know that? You're already there.
Hey, I'll tell
Welcome.
you what. We will give a high five to somebody who gives us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Like in person or?
Yeah, next time I see you, you can just be like, hey, I did a review.
You don't go to anything. Okay, good. Collecticon 2025, you can see Louis. It'll be great.
Hey, I think I want to go to
when Louis actually has his kids in school and he can go places.
I think I want to go to Collecticon in Long Beach. If you guys want to go?
I'm going to Charlotte. I'm not going to Long Beach.
Okay. All right. Let's get into it. People have waited 5 minutes now.
So a couple of new couple fab goodies this week.
I have a good intro for this.
Oh my
Part
God.
1. Flesh and Blood is not just cards.
So let's talk about the new product that has a bunch of cards in it. These are the Blitz decks.
Oh my God.
So we're going to talk about the Blitz decks product. They're not Blitz decks.
They are explicitly Blitz decks, I believe.
The Magic the
40 card decks.
Deck. And then we're going to talk about the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? I already did a whole podcast.
God, you two are cranky today. Y'all need to get back to bed.
I told you I didn't want to talk about this because I already talked about this on my Flesh and Blood podcast.
I don't care. You can't do that. You have to do it. So, all right. So let's talk about it. There's two, I guess, not blitz decks.
No, you can't call them blitz decks.
Why can't you, are they not blitz decks?
They are. But then what's the product? It's 2 blitz decks. Those are $12 each. So the product should be $25. It has to be more than blitz decks.
Okay, blitz deck with cold foils.
What was the MSRP on it again? Was it $40?
$50.
$50.
So let's talk about.
There's actually a lot of cold foil. There's cold foil heroes, weapons.
There's 4. There's cold foil heroes and weapons.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then rainbow foil, other equipment.
Nice.
Okay, here's my hot take. There's my not so hot take. This is my cold take. My ice cold take. It is way too soon to figure out if this is a good deal or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
It could have 18 copies of CNC in each deck.
And then $50 is great for now.
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be a boat.
There are Majestics in it. There could be new Majestics.
Oh God!
There is new Majestic.
There's a new Majestic in it for Warrior. It looks like
new Majestics and a new weapon,
and new alt arts,
and a new hero. It's a new product.
Yep.
I love that George was
actually not new alt arts.
Learned about it.
Yeah, he's like,
listen.
I'm all in for it. There could be 12 CNCs in here. Wait, you're telling me that there's cards that don't exist in booster boxes in here?
This is somebody left a comment on, I don't know why I'm still on Facebook. Somebody left a comment on Facebook that was somebody else was talking about it. I don't comment on Facebook anymore, but somebody else was talking about this and they were complaining about the pricing. And somebody was like, I don't know why you don't just have faith in LSS. This seems like a great product. And listen, this is a fantastic product of which I will buy one for myself and put it on a shelf, and I'll probably keep one sealed because I love Flesh and Blood and I love the product. I do not understand who this product is for.
Hold on.
Let me finish. No. Let me finish.
You're wrong.
The market on a shelf is going to look at this like what we know and have come to love from Magic Dual Decks because it's the same packaging as Magic Dual Decks. And I think it's a 2-player starter kit. You're gonna have a shelf. I've got on my shelf at my store, I have a $20 2-player starter kit for Genesis. I have a $24 2-player starter kit for Legions. I have build and battle boxes that are $20 for Pokemon. I've got $12 blitz decks that I usually just give out. You're gonna look at the product on a shelf and then be like, oh, it's $50. So who is this product for? It's a It's either a premium product for people who are already enfranchised, or it's an overpriced intro product.
No, you're wrong, as always. So here's what I think.
It is an intro product, is my understanding.
It is an intro product. And here is where I think you're wrong, which is normal. This is the product. Now, I will say there's a caveat to this, which is a rumor going around that makes me very unhappy, which is related to why I just got very sad in this podcast about 5 seconds ago. This product is for a new store who doesn't carry Fab, and the distributor's like, hey, have you tried Fab? And they're like, no, what's that? And they're like, I'll take a 6-pack of the starter decks and a case of boxes, or 2 cases, probably a case of box if you're a small store. And now you have this product next to a box and you see if it sells. If it sells, you carry Fab. If it doesn't, you don't. That's what this product is for. Caveat caveat alert. We have started to hear that this product could be allocated.
Oh yeah.
That makes no sense. If that is true,
started to hear it was directly.
It was directly from a distributor.
Directly from my distributor will be heavily allocated directly from my distributor.
If that is true, I have no idea what this product is doing. I will assume that distributor doesn't know anything and that he's just listening to what John Stasso said as he breaks map and opens product early. Still breaking map.
I want it to be known, I love this product. Okay, I think it's really cool. I just think it's overpriced.
It's not overpriced if it's a good product, I don't think. I think you're wrong.
One thing that you're not addressing too, Louis, is it'll also have a 48-page lore book, whatever that means.
No.
Okay, but this is my point.
I don't understand that. Like,
yeah, this is my point. The person who cares about a 48-page lore book is already enfranchised. So if this is a collector's product that's for already enfranchised players, then that's great.
What if it's an and both? They're trying to do both because the first sentence says designed to welcome new players to the world of Flesh and Blood.
Right, and that's my issue.
The first sentence.
That's my.
And then it goes a beautiful product for new players, casual gamers, collectors, and fans of Rhinar and Dorinthia alike.
Okay,
so it's an and both.
I'm changing my attitude. This is a fantastic product for players of
new
the game.
players, casual gamers, collectors, and fans of Rhinar.
The Blitz decks are a fantastic product for new players.
Now, what I think they really did miss out on is they should have had a Pirate Louis promo card in there. That would have really helped sell it.
Listen, the
it worked well for Legion. So I mean, like,
such a dick move.
I think it's too early to see if this is a good or bad product. I will say, if it's allocated, I'm completely lost. It's allocated
because they didn't print enough of it. There's too much demand.
If it's allocated, I have no idea the point of this product.
So is it
none?
Is it possible that they're not sure? So they print it. They just put 10,000 boxes out. Let's see if anybody nibbles them up.
No,
and they're like,
have faith, James White. Me and you will meet in Jersey in front of the other 4,500 people who are there, and you will tell me the print run on
this weekend, right?
No, New Jersey is in May.
It's Indies this weekend.
I would know that as you're a fan of New Jersey.
I never said I was a fan of New Jersey. I just said I would like to go.
I just
putting words in my mouth.
I don't understand the product. I think that's where I come down to. I don't understand who. Like, if you were to ask James White, who is this product for?
He said new players in a separate interview. We have a new product coming out for new players.
Okay, then
to work on that first time player experience.
If this is for new players,
it comes with a play mat in it. It comes with all these things.
Okay, if that's what this product is, then
quick start guide.
I love the product. I love Flesh and Blood, and I love the game. But I think this is a miss. That's my point. At $50,
so let me ask you this.
Now what I hope.
But simultaneously, we're hearing it's allocated.
Holy freaking crap! Can I finish a sentence?
We're gonna get Louis cussing on the podcast today. I'm excited.
If the MSRP is $50 and distribution price is $20, and we can sell this for $25, I'm stoked. That's great. I don't give a crap what MSRP is. Like, I will sell it for $25 because I'll sell it for $35 because I believe that's what a dual deck should be.
It does have map pricing.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. It does have map pricing.
40.
Well, map, it's how many percent, right?
80%. 80% unless you're Channel Fireball, then it's whatever you want. Continue.
Okay. So, all right. $40 is a fine.
Just being a dead horse.
If this is a $40 product, then that's great. That's fine. I still think it should be 35, but 40 is a lot better than 50. I just hope that it's not a $50 product. That's my point.
So let me ask you this, Dr. Louis.
We'll still pick them up though.
Okay, hold on.
I already asked for 50 of them. I think they're a great product.
So let me ask you this. If it's not allocated, if there as many as you order, they call you and say, congratulations, that's what you got.
Yep.
Does that change your opinion at all on if this is a hit or a miss? Because to me, that's the big factor, right? If this is to me, this is something that I can put, and I went over this on the Better podcast, the Bone Zone, and the point of this product won't be a huge seller at my store
because you have mature players.
I already have a bunch of intense players. I'll get some because I'll sell some, but this isn't.
But they'll probably buy one just to have the lore book and to have the cold foils.
Young hero.
I've joked about this.
And paperback lore books, I don't think are going to be the
what if the lore book is the lore book they gave as a retailer appreciation kit?
Which is fine. That was printed. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but people have been collecting that and paying over $1,000 for it.
Then they're idiots.
5 times the size of the box.
We don't know the size of the box. Do you have the dimensions handy?
It is the exact same box that a Magic Duel deck is in. The exact same box.
I've never played a Magic Duel deck, so I don't have the same context.
I bet you Carta Monday was like, hey, we have this product. And they were like, "Oh, that's great. That's a great box. It's a standard. It's going to be the same size as a Magic Duel."
Right. We already have the pricing on this. Here you go.
Right. There is no way that it's the retailer kit. It might be the same.
That might be the same words, just in teeny tiny font.
Yeah, I mean, it might be something.
So
like that.
I got you. So here's my thought. Why do you think they started with those heroes?
I think that's cool. I mean, I think you don't have WT. Well, you don't have WTR anymore.
Right.
Even though it's on the discount list, but like,
right.
You don't have WTR anymore. So like, I think it's a cool way for people to hop into it. It revitalizes some of those heroes. Gives some, like, I love that it's a new, I love that it's a new Dorinthia and a new Reinhardt. I think that's really cool. I think
this is a hit. I think listen, there's two, my store doesn't do a lot of blitz until now because it's skirmish season. Compete sports skirmish, but we're not a big blitz store, to be candid. I think I've been public about that. But I know there's people who are like weirdos like Ken will love this because he's he loves blitz. You're not, let me be clear here. Not all blitz players are weirdos. Just Ken in particular is a weirdo. I should have been more clear about that.
I think it's really cool. People are definitely talking about the new heroes.
Yeah.
My favorite sentence is, "Oh my gosh, that Dorinthia is better than the old Dorinthia." And
which is not great.
My response is, you don't know that because you haven't seen the weapon that it's talking about in the I don't think it
is fixed to that weapon, isn't it? It's only that weapon that gets go again.
This product will be a win in my book if it is available for $40. Sorry, if it's available for $35, $40 is acceptable. And if it is on the store shelves and if it's not bought out by a bunch of collectors, and if it is a really fun experience to play the two decks against each other, and that is a huge win.
Only test I have is it heavily allocated? Because if so, I'm completely lost as to why this product exists.
If this is heavily allocated with a Command and Conquer in it, and it's never on store shelves, and it's I'm not going to be super stoked about that. But I don't
bring CNC down, and eventually it'll be more on store shelves. But yeah, I hear you.
I don't fully think that this is going to be heavily allocated. I think
I don't either. I think that seems wrong.
That seems very
the product makes no sense if it's allocated. It makes no sense if it's allocated. Ali agrees.
If we can sell it for $40 with a little bit of a discount, if you're a new person and it's $35.
So Louis said the same thing 5 times. Okay,
then it's fine.
He really wants a better price point. Got it.
And I'm not alone. And I'm not being. Look at Rudy. Rudy said the same thing. Shout out to Rudy.
Wow.
Not your dog. The real Rudy.
My dog's name is Ruby. You should ask Mick. He's one that steals the names.
Ruby, same thing.
It's a letter difference. Just flip it around.
All right. So that is Louis Fudd on the new product.
Oh my gosh. I'm so done with this podcast.
Now let's get into
done.
So Louis, what do you hate about the sleeves?
The sleeves are great.
I actually was just sad that there's other great art in the game. I'm excited for that art to come out and be on sleeves. It's fine that there's heroes. That's cool. But
I only want the Oldham sleeves. That's what my store will carry. If you want anything other than Oldham, don't come to my store.
I'm now you have silenced me. This is a great product.
Good.
Can't wait.
You go. Was that so hard?
This is the great podcast you wanted. Welcome to George's second podcast. Everything's great.
That should be today's title. Metazoo be with you. Everything's great, including Louis and Mick's mood.
The sleeves are great. Dragon Shield is a fantastic company. I'm glad that we have.
Here's the caveat.
Oh my gosh. Here's the George caveat. The Fudd George Fudding everywhere.
I think they'll be the matte sleeves. I really hope they're the Dragon Shield matte sleeves.
They will. They said that.
Yeah, that's been.
Oh, they said matte? Okay, then it's good. Then we're Gucci.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matte backs, glossy fronts, Dragon Shield 101.
People get so worked up about sleeves.
Non-matte sleeves should be sent.
We've seen how Louis sleeves, so that Louis definitely feels that more than anybody else, right?
I'm getting roasted.
Louis folds cards in half.
It's all right. Hey, listen. I'll be it for you guys. Whatever you guys need to make yourself feel better about your life.
I know.
Sorry, you're just like you and the sleeves, man. It just.
I tend to agree a little bit about their artwork choices. I do wish that they would have selected more generic artwork pieces that aren't.
Can you imagine specific. E-strike sleeves?
Well, if you don't play Prism, Chain, if you don't play the 4 heroes, then you don't have anything that you're excited about here.
The prof actually responded to their Twitter thing like, "Hey, one of the Dash sleeves coming." Like,
Yeah.
you know, Dash is probably the most underplayed hero, but he's like, "I want to see Dash." Right?
And listen, like it's expensive.
I want Azalea sleeves.
Like from LSS's perspective, I get it. Like you can't just print. You can't order 12 different heroes worth of sleeves and print them all and have them like it's just not like there's no way to evaluate your demand.
I would have preferred.
I'm assuming
Chain
it's not
Fire
Fab
Starvo as the first three. I think Chain Fire Starvo would have been great.
I'm assuming it's just a licensing thing with Fab, right? So Dragon Shield's just giving them a percentage of the profits, and Dragon Shield's picking what they think is the best. So I think that's probably what's happening. Is Fab said, "Hey, we want X% of these profits or X dollars out of each one," and Dragon Shield's all right. Who do you think is going to be the most successful? Well,
Golden.
They try to pick the heroes that are meta right now.
Starvo. They're like Starvo.
I would.
Well, I thought it was funny. There wasn't a Starvo one. I was like, do they think it's just going to go living legend status before the sleeves even get out?
No, that's not what I was going to say. But no,
I know what you were going to say. So,
I'll say it for you, Louis. We're all on the same page. That was my fourth. I was like, where's Starvo? We need to have him on the mix, right? Everybody's playing him.
All right, continue.
That was it.
That was it. I think the sleeves are great. I'm excited about it. I hope the sleeves are more available than the playmats. Like, did you ever get playmats?
Wait, no, but like, wait, they can't be allocating the play. They can't be. Are they going to allocate the sleeves?
He's just saying that like
I've never been able to order playmats. Have you been?
I don't think they ever really released, did they?
They made a big announcement, like they're announcing these sleeves.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll be honest.
I'm on like, what is it? Miniature Market had them too.
Yeah,
neither distro ever called me about them.
Nope. Yeah. And they're sold out on the distro websites.
Really?
Yeah, but like
they just said George doesn't need them.
Yeah. So like I hope these go to like I hope we can get these and put them on our shelves. Like that's the thing. Like I hope these are things that are on the shelf.
I didn't even think of that. Wait a minute. Are they going to screw me? Like I didn't know I got screwed in the playmats. I got screwed in the playmats. Nobody told me.
George, you're fine. Just print more Diamond Hand playmats since you're Mr. Diamond Hands over there.
Your Wall Street playmats.
Shout out.
Yeah. That's why George.
You should just create. Why don't you create some Bone Zone playmats?
Bone Zone already has a playmat. Thank you.
No. I'm saying George create them. It's different. I know Jordan has his. I have one of his.
All right.
And they're not Bonezo, they're Scheming Skeleton.
Are we done? All right. So the Pro Quest. Wow. I had a great Pro Quest at Compete Sport. And like we got to talk about it. Louis stole, Louis, I have to carry this podcast. I saw that. And my store has to carry his channel.
Your whole carrying the podcast thing is no longer valid. My Fab podcast gets as many views as this podcast.
Not true. And also, if you're watching both, please stop watching that one. All right.
I'm not saying that
I need you to pick one.
I am saying that Josh carries
the podcast. Pick one, you cowards.
Josh carries the podcast as much as you do, if anything.
Oh,
that hurts. So the my Pro Quest went great. Kano completely wrecked.
One shot.
So there was 2 close games. One, I think, fairly came down to luck. Like one was like you draw a card, you win. You don't draw that card, you lose. You draw a card, you won. Sure. Those were the only games that were within any sort of reach. Like
I love this.
Just like dominated. It was a bloodbath at my.
How long have you been working on that deck? Do you know?
So it's funny.
I know you did an interview
on
all of his life.
Yes, exactly.
He's a Kano one trick.
Every single one of my major Fab events. Every one. Skirmish, every pre-release, and he went to Road to Nationals. He did this one. He went to every one since we started events. Since LSS started events, and he has gotten routinely wrecked at every one of my events because Kano isn't the answer until it is.
Until nobody shows up with no.
And then like he just showed up and like listen, he's a great dude. He's a legitimately hilarious guy.
I've had lots of interviews with lots of amazing people. He was at the top.
Thank you.
Like, he was at the top. He was so much fun to talk to. I could have kept talking to him forever.
Yeah, he's a hoot. And like I asked him his record after like the 3rd or 4th round when I brought pizza in, free pizza for everybody at Compete Sport. After it was a free event.
He's bragging about all the stuff that he did for his LGS.
Then I was like, so what's your record? And I thought he was going to say like 2-2. He's like 4-0. I'm like, wait, what? So then I like talked to my head judge, shout out to Phil. And I was all like, who else is 4-0?
You also
He's
gave
like,
Phil a first edition box.
I gave Phil a first edition Crucible box. And he pulled a Shiana.
That's
and
awesome.
I gave my winner the first edition Crucible box.
Yeah.
What'd they pull?
All for free, might I add. And after a free event. And it was very clear.
Do we need to give George any more pats?
Are we supposed to be impressed?
I want to give a shout out to my OGS.
Shout out to yourself. It's fine. Go ahead.
This episode is sponsored by Compete Sport.
Is it really? I've always wanted to sponsor a podcast.
We had this LGS sponsor us $10,000. It was very generous of them.
You can go to fleshandblood.com.
Louis and I both get 6K, and then George gets another 2. So that's more than that. Was that
too bad, George? It's too bad.
Was it 14K?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I have no clue what you're on.
There's a sponsor. Compete Sports started sponsoring us. Louis and I are getting paid 6K, and then George is getting paid 2K to carry the podcast.
Is that what I'm supposed to be charging?
Because he gets profit sharing on the side out of the Compete Sports. So
is that what I'm supposed to be charging for sponsors? 10K for 1,000 viewers?
Minimum.
Jeez, that's an expensive view count.
You have a targeted audience.
Okay. All right, moving on.
So Kano wrecked. And like, it was funny because like when he got to the top 8, I was talking to somebody. I'm like, so what do you think? And like, well, listen, like he has to have the right draws. I'm like, Kano's going to absolutely demolish this group. And it was brutal. It was totally brutal.
43 damage turned 0 on the top 4.
I was happy for him, man. I was thrilled for him. He was so happy.
Awesome. Well, what's going to be fun is see how that changes going into Indy now.
And I paid for his fight to Indy.
Hot take: it's not going to change anything going into Indy.
Oh, hot take! You're dead wrong. They have to bring equipment now.
I think people at least have to cyborg equipment.
I liked his take. And I know he's extremely biased, but like, how many Kanos are really going to show up? You're going to take 3 card slots away from your sideboard against Prism to sideboard against maybe getting against Kano. Like,
if not, you're going to get steamrolled. Like, that dude totally wrecked.
But only if you get matched up with him.
But like, eventually you will have to. If
he is right though. There's going to be a high percentage of Prism players over Kano players, so you're going to sideboard.
You're taking a risk, and the risk is like he still has to hit his cards. He could have a game where he hits all reds and doesn't hit his blues, and then his variance is so much higher than Star.
That's true. That's
so
true.
Like there's a lot of like, do you really sideboard for?
So I just want to say how happy I was that James White's favorite hero won my Pro Quest. That made me feel very happy.
I think it makes you his favorite Pro Quest of the year.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Put that on the podcast.
It's on the
podcast.
The title.
Compete Sport is James White's favorite.
No, that costs extra. That costs extra.
I'm out. All right, so let's get into it. What's going to happen in Indy? What's going to happen in Indy? I'm not talking about the basketball games that are happening across the street.
They opened another 100 slots, so they sold out of the 300. They opened another 100. So
I told you all. Told you all last week. Going to be.
Didn't I say there were going to be 400 people?
There'll be more than that though, because that's only the calling. It's only the main event.
So I think there will be 400 to 500 Flesh and Blood players.
I was dunking on New Jersey.
500 and 400 to 500 Magic players. I think the room's going to have 1,000 people. There's not a real event happening for Magic. All right, we'll talk about Magic in a second. I have a hot tip on Magic.
Okay, so
apparently you're getting friendly with Watsy. Go ahead.
How many Starvos in the top 8 of New Jersey?
Oh God,
of Indianapolis.
3, 4.
I don't want to do this.
50% of the top 8.
Okay, so have you heard everybody saying that Starvo's been weaning off of the Pro Quests?
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys think that maybe like people won one Pro Quest with Starvo, and then they had already signed up for multiple Pro Quests, and they were like, "Hey, I'm going to play a different hero because I'm going to try to see what happens if they do nerf Bravo before if they do some sort of PNA on April." And so then they're playing different heroes. And so then the numbers kind of fix themselves. Yep. Or do you think that like people figure out the meta? Because I have no clue.
I think probably some combination of the two, but I think a lot of it's also just like, listen, I think there's a lot of people who go to every pro quest in their area.
Yeah.
Mine's weird. I was only 2 in South Carolina. Not enough for best.
But there are a lot of people like in Oklahoma. I know they went to Dallas. They went to Tulsa, Oklahoma City.
What do you think the average?
Went to KC.
Because there, LSS said there was 9,000 players in ProQuest. There's 250
unique
events.
Players, or
they said 9,000 players, 250 events. So that would be an average of 36 players per event.
Sounds
I think that's average, but you're saying that that's not unique players. That's
I know at my ProQuest there were almost everybody had gone to another ProQuest.
I'd be curious how many gym IDs are unique.
Yeah, it was super interesting.
Isn't there a YouTube channel who's been checking all?
Yeah, Kugane's been.
Didn't he also say that there's been a reduction in people?
Yeah, I think he's looking at the last 3 months of gem wins. There's been a reduction, but that makes sense.
And people that have scored at least 3 XP in the last
makes sense to me though.
So many
I
months.
scored 6 this weekend for the draft.
Here's why that makes sense to me is because everyone's so focused on ProQuest
and competitive season.
Everyone's plan. This is one of my big we need to be promoting new players and armories all the time and not just ProQuest, because when
a new product for new players.
When everyone is focused on ProQuest, it makes it that your armory events don't fire and you don't have as many people showing up to your armory events, and then your new player count doesn't grow. Why are you going like this? No,
Louis, have you been seeing fewer people online playing on your events?
Yeah, that makes sense though. Totally makes sense. The world's opening up and people are practicing ProQuest, and I don't do just CC like we do. We alternate between Classic Constructed, Blitz, Commoner Blitz is one of our most popular nights. We have a sealed armory that is
Commoner Blitz is interesting.
Yeah. So it's not, if it was just CC, people would want to show up, but I had 80 people this month for my CC league. So there's tons of people which is up from
that are trying to practice.
Yeah, because people want to practice. It makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think you got 450 people, 1,000 people in the room. Half of them are Magic, half of them are Fab. For Indianapolis, you don't think that?
700, 2,000. Mark it down.
700 to 1,000. You said
700 Fab, 1,300. The worst game.
I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's no way. I love that you just spew numbers without any form of there's only 300 registered on
guess for the main event. There's side events and things.
Okay. Well, there's 8 registered for the side events.
Really?
Yes. I mean, it's all public on their website. So
this could be a problem for me.
The question is,
if you're listening to this podcast on Friday, sign up right now.
Because this is SGCCon, right? This is SGCCon.
The question is, how many people are signed up for Indianapolis already compared to how many haven't signed up yet? If you assume,
this might not go well for me.
Yeah, I think the max.
Well, good thing you bet a whole Monarch First box on it.
Listen, there's a bunch of these events though. It's not their only event. I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Ready to move on? I want to.
Please.
Can we shift the dialogue? I know we were supposed to talk about Magic. Can we talk about one thing before Magic?
Oh my God.
We'll go ahead.
You said you had some.
I have 2 things. Part 2 is don't do drugs, which we'll talk about Magic in a second. That's what we're calling.
Is that the segment name? He's so proud of that naming.
I want to talk about one thing before we talk about Magic, and it's kind of related to Magic because of the artwork. What are you guys' thoughts on the Sorcery Kickstarter?
It could be the most successful TCG Kickstarter or Kickstarter or TCG on Kickstarter.
I think it
hits $1 million
for the TCG.
Over $1 million.
The only
already is for the TCG.
The Metazoo playing cards hit 2 million, right?
Yeah,
that's
playing cards, but that's not a TCG. That's
listen. If Metazoo kickstarted Wilderness, it'd be $38 million in.
And
5
did
minutes
Genesis end up around 800K?
Yeah, something around that, a little bit less, I think, but in that.
So
ballpark.
it's surpassed Genesis, which Genesis did really well. Kickstarter.
Nostalgics is the previous high.
Nostalgics is the big winner.
I think Genesis was 400K or something like that.
Yeah. No, I thought Genesis was way higher than that.
No, I think actually Louis is right. I think Louis is right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Now that I think
Sorcery
about it.
though, 800K, also just
It's at 870 right now.
a ton of interest. And then
Boom.
Team Covenant picking it up. Team Covenant, is Rudy picking
They
it up?
played it yesterday.
Is the rumor that Rudy's picking it up too? Like, good lord.
I mean, they're both in New Zealand too. It's fascinating, right? Fab and Sorcery coming straight from New Zealand. I think it's fascinating. Such a small land for
I'm
great
already
games.
getting roasted by you guys. I might as well get roasted by the comment section as well.
Why?
Oh, you're about to hear it. You're about to hear why, Mick.
Yeah.
That was a preview. That was a preview.
This is going to be an extremely unpopular take for my demographic because my demographic comes from Flesh and Blood. But my unpopular
Are
take
Fabbers dunking on it?
No. My take is that Sorcery is the perfect TCG game and Kickstarter campaign type thing to run like a Cool Mini or Not campaign, and that instead of the whole distribution side of things and instead of worrying about all that and working with local stores, that they should just do like a more direct to consumer Kickstarter every set type thing, like Cool Mini or Not does with what's the Zombicide, which is like I think they still need to do stuff for the store. Like they have the store tiers, which is really cool, and they
Sure.
have prize support. I think you still do some of that stuff, but like I think it's a really cool way to do. There's not a TCG in the Kickstarter sphere that's saying, look, we love the local game store, but our business model is going to be, grow the game on Kickstarter for your local, for your kitchen table, for you. And I think this game is super unique in that it's really well played at a casual level.
I mean, the second paragraph says the kitchen table game sensibilities.
Yeah.
Like they're feeling they're adding this modern flavor or spin to a kitchen table experience. Something that's played in your house.
So like, I mean, think about it. Like they could do every set as Kickstarter, and maybe they do a Kickstarter and then they have a first edition that they also either put out at stores at big box retail, just like
this is
Kittens did.
So Team Covenant already has a subscription for their set 2, and I actually I made a statement because I was watching their stream and it made it sound like they were saying it would be potentially like you have Kickstarter edition and then first edition is quote set 2, but Zach Bunn, who is one of the founders of Team Covenant, responded and said no, it'll be a new set.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a different edition, which I thought was fascinating. So they're taking, orders essentially for the next set that hasn't even been announced, and they're just calling it flat set 2. And also what I thought was fascinating,
which is their business model. This is their bit, which is like, let me be very clear. This is what
you're saying, build hype up.
Eric said this in the interview with me that the next one is not a Kickstarter. I'm just saying, I think that it's a really interesting dynamic if you're not going to benefit from the
distribution model. Yeah,
like somebody could scoop up and do that, and nobody is. And I think this game would have been the perfect one for
There's just so much of their margins that they lose out to Kickstarter fees.
Much as
I'm sure
distribution.
Quite a bit too.
I think you're probably right.
Way more.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're right.
But
anyway. You usually have a shipping fulfillment center that takes another chunk of your cost.
Still,
which is essentially a distributor.
What I wanted to highlight though is that incredibly successful, and then already caught the eye of Team Covenant, which is
they've been talking to him for a while. Team Covenant stated yesterday. I mean, like Louis, how many games do you get sent, or people that ask you on a consistent basis, like, hey, could you review my game or check out my game?
It's like DMs on Instagram. It's like, I don't know what it feels like to be an attractive human, but I assume like attractive humans get DM'd on Instagram.
We do.
They try to slide in.
Yeah. Which is great. It's fun. I always love looking at new stuff. I only talk about games that I really like though.
Yeah. I think Team Covenant is very much in that same mantra that they only support games that they enjoy playing. It sounds like they've played with some test decks. I'm excited to try out the print play for it. I watched the stream yesterday. It was really interesting. We're recording this on Wednesday, but the stream was on Tuesday for it.
I assume based on you only talking about Team Covenant that you haven't watched my Is It Fun to Play video for Sorcery or my interview.
I actually started watching it, both of them. I did. And I actually scrubbed through to the end of the sorcery video and watched to hear you. It was Robbie, right? So y'all's thoughts on it.
Yeah, we got to play again.
So-
There was definitely some stuff we did wrong, but okay. Magic.
I'm glad we talked about sorcery
rumors.
because it wasn't in the agenda. So I'm glad you slid that in there. I'm excited to see it come out. The artwork looks sick. To Magic.
I'm hearing rumors that there's going to be a pro announcement soon.
Fascinating.
I will say, if not, somebody at WotC owes me an apology. Continue, Louis. Like, if not, I better get a basket of fruit at my doorstep. I want it at my house, not my store.
Multiple people send me messages being like, hey, there's rumblings. There's a pro tour starting again for Magic, which is like hats off to LSS because they have put the pressure on. Like that's a win.
George disagrees with you. He doesn't think it's LSS driving that pressure.
Listen, I think that pressure comes from seeing what's going on with Fab.
I don't disagree, but I don't know WotC very well.
You don't think?
No.
I've heard a lot of people leaving WotC, leaving Magic to play competitively since they died down the competitive scene. I've seen lots of things of, hey, they cut down the competitive scene for Magic. I want a competitive TCG scene. You know, this game has it. I'm moving over.
I think
that's true, but like the question is, how many of those are there?
No, right. This is my point. I've been very clear on my channel. I don't believe that competitive play is the way that games grow, and that's what matters. I don't think that WotC is like, oh, we're losing so much money because of the competitive play and we can't run a business. I think for them it's an optics thing.
Yeah,
I think this is they are losing the optics in the competitive sphere. I think like
what are the optics you're seeing then, George?
Listen, there's been a lot of interaction with WotC talking about, are they going to sell? There's been that.
That's true.
There's been that.
I mean, that's not this. I mean, they're doing that. That's why they're.
You saying Hasbro would sell WotC to someone else, or
absolutely? Like Magic has been for sale for years. It's been the worst kept secret in the MA space.
But there's a lot of interaction with like a couple of the people who are not huge share owners, but relative big enough share owners to cause a stir of saying like, hey, the current direction isn't good. So maybe they're listening. And like, that's the 2022 play that nobody anticipated, was like WotC actually listening to people and being like, okay, we're okay losing money. We'll just charge $450 a box for quadruple masters and make our money that way and lose some money on something else.
Sell out.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
It's gonna pop.
So that's just a rumor I've heard, which is super interesting. Like, I think that's like hot TCG. Like that could disrupt everything, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy that, but yeah, like I think it's cool. I don't think it's gonna change much, to be honest. I'm not.
It'll change things from a Magic perspective.
What do you think? Why? Like,
listen, when my commander group starts talking about like, hey, do you want to go to 2 years ago there was a conversation I remember, and they're like, hey, do you want to go to Indianapolis for a modern tournament? I was like, why on earth would I do that? Like when they start talking about that again, it'll be different. Like the attitude will change on those players. So interesting stuff.
I think it's a good move. Let me be very clear. I think it's a smart move by Magic. I think it's I hope they lean into Commander, right? Like that's, it's a format people enjoy, lean into Commander.
Yeah.
I do not hope that.
Why?
I don't get competitive Commander. That's not my thing.
Well, Louis is not a super competitive player. So.
I am I'm biased. I hate that Magic prints cards for Commander. Like the
why? What?
Because the love of Commander for me has always been like it's a hodgepodge of.
He's a purist.
You're using like the history of Magic to culminate this deck, and now they're like, oh, here's 15 new cards for your Lands Matter deck, everyone. You have to buy them, and it's like not as fun. Like it's not as creative. It's like I don't buy new cards for my Commander decks. I have built my Commander decks. Occasionally, like I pulled the new Bosque, the green land from Kamigawa.
I think Commander Legends might be my most selling set, despite being totally unplayable in the format that they suggested.
I get it. I get it. I just don't like that. I don't.
Is that true? No, Double Masters. I think probably told more Double Masters than anything else.
It was kind of cool, the original precons from 17, 18, and then they just got I don't know. It just got too much. Now the only thing they make cards for is Commander, and the other formats
people play.
Right, I get it. I get it. It's just they kind of ruined it.
But not good enough for Louis.
No, they kind of ruined it. It's
Louis is a snob when it comes to
thing.
Commander. He's like, I've lost all creativity. They're telling me what I need to be building. Yeah. I do not like being told what to build. I want to build what I want to build.
I hate when I play a deck and someone's like, you really need to have this new card in it. I'm like, just go away. This deck's 5 years old. I don't want to rebuild it.
I spent so much money on this deck.
That's the whole point of collectible card games, is to rebuild decks.
Not
and to evolve them. Not for Louis. I've already spent $1,200 on this deck, man. I'm not touching it.
What am I supposed to do? Take out a dual land to put this new not dual land in? Come on. I don't know. All right.
So Louis is snob for Commander.
Only dual lands?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's just
what is it? There's other options. You know that, right? You need to have other things in there other than dual lands. Maybe that's why you don't do so good at them.
I'm pretty good Commander. All right. Do you want to talk about the new set? That's what we were supposed to talk about.
All right, let's do it, baby. Lead us off.
Louis wanted to talk about what's your fun tagline for this?
This one's called "Don't Do Drugs" because the post that they made. So apparently, new Capenna, is that the set?
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that right, George?
Yeah.
Probably not.
New Capenna takes place. It's not drugs, but it's drugs. And it's a mob family. Let me read I'm going to just read what they said.
Oh my God. That dog.
It's a magical substance that rules the criminal underworld in New Capenna, sought after for its magical enhancing qualities. It comes in many forms, such as crystals, liquids, and vapors, and you may consider adding your own. You may consider adding your own to in-store events. This is from Wizards of the Coast. You can present this as ethereal substance by adding stones or crystals as part of your decorations, but if you'd rather serve it as a snack or beverage, you can get creative by using rock candy or fruit punch. Remember, please do not serve this beverage where commonly associated with alcoholic beverages. An example, you can't serve it in martini glasses. Magic is for all ages and all should feel welcome. So it's not okay to serve it in alcohol glasses, but we have fake cocaine for you to play with.
You're gonna make George die.
Who wrote this and whose idea was this?
I think that's awesome.
Hey, drugs are cool, man.
I am going to do. I'm getting finalized.
Louis, I'm going to do so much cocaine before I play Commander.
I've been waiting for this moment, man. Drugs and TCGs.
Everyone, this is why we don't have a sponsor.
What happened to my sponsorship?
Are you not paying us money, man? You're out. Sorry.
I'm going to have just liquid cocaine in non-martini glasses.
Is there liquid cocaine?
I don't know. Probably not. I've never done
just excited. He's like, I've never done drugs. I don't know how these work.
There's liquid cocaine.
I smoked pot once in middle school and got offered acid.
It's probably because of MTG, man. They were giving him all this liquid stuff. It was just a gateway drug, and he was like, "I'm all in."
When I was
give me
12,
the cannabis.
I went to a pre-release, and they had a bunch of martini glasses around full of cocaine. Sorry, magic.
That's what the cool kids are doing these days. It's gonna be the next TikTok trend.
Oh, it was so funny. All right, that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't actually care about the rest of it.
That's all. I just want mob bosses and drugs, man.
The set's going to be 5 different 3-color factions. You're going to have triple lands. It'll be good. It'll be a good set. This is not going to be Kamigawa. Unless there's serialized cards. This is not going to be Kamigawa.
I love new stores. Yes, that's correct. It will not be the hottest set that they've released in 3 years.
I'm saying that to everyone. Don't go aping into this one. It's
aping.
Aping. Sorry, I've been following NFTs again. Are we done? Can we move on? You guys are not.
Yeah.
This is you,
Please.
baby. Why are you asking us? This is
You're carrying
this
it
has
today.
been
You
the
said
Louis
this is your
show.
podcast.
This has been what happens when George doesn't carry. This is what it's like, folks. That's
It's
all I'll
actually
tell
not
you.
that bad, George. I'm just gonna let you know.
All right,
fine.
put that in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Continue, Louis.
That's fine. I'm sure the comment section will be on your side. They always are.
Yeah,
Bingo. They get it.
I think
it's
they feel
okay.
bad.
We all
'cause
know
don't
that
have
you
hair.
pay people to go in and
I think they feel
type
bad.
in
'cause you don't have
George's
hair.
goat.
Nah, man, he doesn't react. That's the issue. He never reacts to any. Like he just takes it. He just pretends
don't
like he
really
doesn't hear you. All right.
all right.
Part 2. Don't do drugs. That's it. All right. Part 3. King Pokemon and Provenance.
Wait, are we not going to talk about the new commander decks and how they might have packs toppers or packs in them?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
I think that might be nice to give people some information for once
Aw,
about products
please.
versus just you yapping about your drug use. Just thought I had. I don't know.
Go ahead.
He's on it, George. You can tell he's on the crank over there. He's giggling like a little
You guys
schoolgirl.
are both wild today. Good Lord.
This
So,
turned into a good episode. This was a bad episode at the beginning. This turned into a good one.
Well, it's probably a bad episode still, but we're having fun, and that's all that
I'm
matters.
having a
Louis.
good time. That's all that matters.
Go ahead.
Talk to
Tell
me
us
about your
the commander packs.
Commander packs and commander decks.
So the commander decks will have packs in them. And it's unclear if they're box toppers or regular booster packs, I believe, still. I think this is cool. I think that's awesome. I think like it's a good way that for stores to do commander events. I think it's really a smart
That'd be
move on
kinda
their
cool.
part.
Buy deck
That's
or
what we're
buy a
doing on
commander
release
deck,
on-
and then
That's
just
a
use your
great idea.
packs.
That's a great idea.
All my ideas are always great. On pre-release, we're doing obviously normal pre-release, but on release week, I think we're going to do a commander event, or we're going to give you a commander deck, and you get the pack in there, and you can shuffle it in and live your best life.
Now, are these packs going to be? Oh, I guess you just said we don't know. Are they going to be the commander cards, all specific?
We don't know. I distribution didn't know when I asked them about it. Distribution knows nothing about Magic. They just know it sells. It's so wild.
They don't know anything about the other card games either. Let's be fair.
That's actually
true.
valid. They don't know anything.
They're just like,
It's
what do you
hard to know-
want? How many do you
It's like-
want?
It's almost like they're just. It's almost like they're just salespeople.
Well, usually a salesperson would know their product.
There's a billion TCG products. That's not real
I'm
fair.
well
Imagine
aware.
selling a car and like instead of specializing in Ford at a Ford
Mazdas.
dealership, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hey, we have all these cars, and
right.
it's
In
like
every
a used
model
car
of that
dealer.
car.
yeah. So distribution is basically a used car dealer.
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
we can all agree on that.
I'm sure they'd
That
really
goes off my
appreciate
wife
you
a lot of
saying
that,
that.
so
You should let your rep know that. Hey, you're basically a used car dealer. I'm sure he'd
Me and
really
Louis have the
appreciate
same
that.
rep for one of the distributors. I'll send this to him afterwards. I'll get better allocations.
Cool. Sounds good.
Because my allocations affect you, I'm sure.
I
I'll
have
just get product from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure Watsy will love this.
I'm already
I
a
know.
distributor. I probably am your number one distributor.
That's probably
I guess this is a brilliant start. I forgot about that.
yeah. And my Zendikar Rising collector
Gotta
boxes.
find those. They're somewhere in storage. I gotta find the storage unit they're in.
They're deep on a pallet somewhere. Go ahead.
Nobody
Um,
wanted them.
This is another one of those things where like Magic has been looking at the effect. Like look at commander decks. They don't sell it all right now. Like the
They don't sell
well,
in
to
the
be
open
fair,
market. Apparently, they sell in George Freak's store that sells everything.
yeah. Well, George just says stuff. There's no way to validate what he
That's
says.
true.
Like most
It's just-
stores are doing fine with the commander decks.
I mean, they're
that I know
fine,
of.
but like they're not flying like boxes. Like you buy a commander deck, you like it or
Because
you don't
buy
like
a
it.
commander deck. You need more than one
But
box.
my point is now this product can move better because there's a pack in it.
You can have events with it.
Randomized packs are great. Like it's a great thing. I've never met somebody who is so hostile to any opinion as you are.
That's not his own.
I've never met somebody who says wrong. I think that's the difference. That's the problem.
That's why this podcast is fun.
I basically heard. I've never heard somebody that's like that stupid in my life. Is kind of what he just said.
King
That's
Pokemon.
so hurtful. So
And
hurtful,
Provenance.
George.
So King Pokemon put out a video that was listen, we're almost
So
an
my
hour
favorite
in.
part, and Gary, if you're listening to this, I want you to know this is the God's honest truth. Every time you post a video, within
Louis sends
I'll
it
be
to us.
generous. I'll be generous. 5 milliseconds.
Listen,
Louis sends it out and goes, "This is the best thing I've ever seen."
I
Block
missed
this.
one.
We're talking about it.
I missed this one and he sent it to me. We were
Ooh.
talking. I missed this one. We were talking about some other stuff. He was like, "Hey, did you see this video I did? What were your thoughts?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, how did I miss this?" It's been a long week.
That's how I feel about all of Louis' videos, for the record.
I don't watch any.
I
videos
don't.
anymore.
I don't blame either of you.
There's so many of them. I miss them sometimes.
I only
He puts
watch
out
the
good content.
updates.
People though, go
this
subscribe
is-
to Louis' channel.
This is
I
this
only
is
watch
for
the mark
the
updates to see if it's happened or not yet.
this is for the Metazoo auction. That's for charity. Really cool. If you're interested in Metazoo and all that stuff, go watch that on King Pokemon's channel. Really awesome to see, like, knowing, especially with the Logan Paul stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Like knowing the provenance of the box, where it came from. There's all the conversation right now about fake cards and all that stuff. Like knowing that this is an authentic box that came from it, I think that will give a lot of clarity to the market and really good. It'll be really interesting to watch that auction. It's all for charity. Is it the Aoki? It's the Aoki fan.
Institute.
Yeah. So super cool that. I was watching I rewatched I was just watching funny stuff with my daughter, like just stupid stuff. Like it started when we what show did you tell me to watch, George?
The Practical Jokers.
It started
So
with, like,
funny.
we watched
So
Practical Jokers.
Funny.
I'm a terrible father, so I let my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, watch Jackass Muted. No, that's not true. She was younger than that. She couldn't actually pay any attention to anything. But when they laugh,
Confessions with Louis. Hopefully your
When they-
wife doesn't watch the
Oh
podcast.
my God.
she knows.
This
When they-
episode, Louis
when they-
doing drugs and teaching his kids about Jackass.
Jackass and Pokemon. Welcome to be raised by me. But I was watching Pawn Stars, and the episode where Gary goes on with Chumley. I was like, gosh, like the memories. I remember binge watching Pawn Stars when I was a kid.
My favorite Pawn Star episode is when Chumley buys that big wine decanter thing, and he makes foot wine, and he makes his own wine, and he steps on the grapes himself. And me and my friends could not stop talking about foot wine forever. And he adds a whole bunch of like sugar to it, and it is vile. That was the funniest episode I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know how many episodes I've actually watched of Pawn Stars.
I've seen a lot of Pawn Stars.
insane amount.
I watched
Also
all
fun
the
to
Pawn
see
Stars
them.
growing up, and then like it's kind of
seeing
faded
them now
off.
versus then though is crazy to me.
That was a big
So-
start to the Pokemon kind of interaction. Was that
Yeah, for
Pawn
sure.
Stars episode?
What's really funny is if Rick had made that deal, he'd be very well off right now. He would have won that deal in the long haul
That's funny.
for King Pokemon's
Yeah.
Charizards.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, I think that'll be cool. It would be cool to
Yeah.
see those guys back together again sometime. Like,
That'd be
Yes.
awesome.
like dealing at like a pop-up shop. You met like a pop-up
Pokemon pop-up shop with
with
Chumley and the King.
Chumley and King Pokemon. Like, I think it'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, moving on.
Do it, baby.
Part 4: Wild Tops and Metazoo tournaments.
No tournament packs, as I wrote in the
I know.
thing.
Well, the packs wouldn't fit on the screen, so it's just Metazoo tournaments. You lead, George. This is your time to
Okay.
shine.
This is it's because it's the best time. So all right, Tops Wilderness sold out in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours this time. According to Goat, a lot of it's because they stopped all the bots, which I must say I greatly appreciate.
Yes.
I got totally and completely wrecked on the first Tops drop.
Everybody
Totally
did.
wrecked.
I
In
didn't
fact,
get
a
wrecked.
good friend of mine told me he bought one for me and he was going to
Yeah,
send
it's
it
right
to
here.
me.
It's right there.
Yeah, I
once
have not gotten it yet. I'm not naming names,
Once I get
but
my
he looks like a
Zendikar Rising
doofus
box,
and wears a hat backwards.
once I get my Zendikar Rising boxes and Brilliant Stars, I'll send them to
Oh,
you.
he's holding it hostage.
Oh,
I've got
I'll
plenty of.
keep
I've
mine.
got,
That's easy.
I've got
Uh,
plenty of weight of top stacks for you.
This time I got through. I ordered 25, 35, 35. I'm going to open them.
Yeah.
I cannot help myself with Metazoo. It is like
Oh, I have so many Tops boxes that I bought
so
secondhand,
bad. I don't know
afterwards.
why.
and
Okay.
there's
I don't
so
open
much fun to
anything.
open.
They're
I
not
don't
weighed.
open anything.
They're not weighed. They're not weighed. Confirmed by Mike in our Discord.
Yeah, they're not
server.
weighable.
They're not weighable. That's a win, and that
Ooh.
is the only reason that the current Tops packs are still at MSRP,
cheap.
in my opinion, because
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know you know that it's not even weighed.
If it's on the open market, you know that they probably have weighed it.
You don't have to weigh them. You can tell what because of the foam insert. And so like even like I don't know, it's like they're gonna be $50 forever. So like I think like these not being weighed gives a lot of confidence, and I love the no bots thing. Last time Tops was up, I was on my computer for 4 hours trying to get Tops, and it was a terrible experience. This time I did it on my phone in like 20 seconds. It was super easy.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. This was awesome.
I think 4 hour window is awesome. I think that means that the demand, they printed it to the correct demand. And what? Why are you going? 4 hours is great.
I somewhat agree. I mean, like, it's still like, you know, like this is always going to be the problem with all of these games is like, I don't know what the right number is still, right? Because like, yeah, on the one hand, like it's sold out in 4 hours and that's great that it sold out so fast. On the other hand, like if you work until 8, this sucks for you. The problem is like if it doesn't sell out, people go, oh, look, the game's dead. Everything sucks. And I was right. So like, there's not a good, there's no good number. I think that's true for all the games, not just the Zoo. But I think the Zoo feels it more.
Do we know the print run?
We don't know. And he said it's up to Tops if they want to disclose. He said that publicly in the Metazoo Discord, I believe.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beautiful. Look cool.
It looks great.
You guys know I love Tops packs.
I want more goat on a throne, though. I love that goat on a throne card.
Yeah.
The Mike Waddell one. Yeah.
I hope they do that card, but him as a goat this time. Easter egg.
You can have him sign it and
it's just a goat face.
A goat and it makes
oh my god. Love it.
I think it's gonna be super interesting. A lot of conversation about the first sighting cards, because I guess there's a Bigfoot first sighting already in the regular Crypto Nation. So that'll be interesting to see how those first sighting cards hold up compared to the other ones that were weighable. But yeah, I love Tops. You guys know it. And I'm hearing rumors about Tops Chrome. I'm hearing rumors about like some other Tops products that are like
cool.
It makes sense. I mean, they're selling out, right? I mean, like Tops needs the products, right? Tops.
Yep.
They lost baseball. You know,
kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
I think they got bought out by the same guy now or something.
Oh, yeah. So I think the sale's good. I think the product's cool. I love Tops packs.
I would do some bad things for Tops Chrome.
I got 12.
It's concerning.
I would do some worse things for Tops Transcendent.
I'm in between both of y'all.
Don't frown at how many packs I got. There's been a lot of product coming and going from not as much going from my shop lately. So I was like, I'm doing 12. I'm going to open them all and have a good time.
Maybe you could sell stuff.
Nah.
It never worked out well for Louis anyways.
Yeah. Got hiring somebody.
How's that going?
Nice.
Oh, hopefully April 1st.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
You're hired.
I assume that's your birthday. No?
George, do you have an April birthday?
All right.
Nope.
Metazoo tournament pack. George.
So I love this. And I should have mentioned this last week because he announced it last week, but I am a bad podcast carrier and I forgot to mention it last week.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So if you do the Metazoo tournament at these Collecticons now, I will say this to the GOAT. He gave them all something special at the Orlando Collecticon on the second day. I think he gave them the egg. I think you were able to skip the line and buy the egg because instead of waiting in line, you were playing in the tournament. That's my rough understanding. I could be wrong.
Nice.
This time you get a special tournament pack that can have some cool stuff in it. And I think that's a really cool idea. I actually think other games should copy that. I like the idea of a blind pack that's given to people who play in competitive tournaments or even in like, I can see if like the Armory, I can see for all these things.
Yeah.
I think having a tournament pack really will incentivize more play. I think it's a really cool idea. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I also hope they do something. I hope they put in some spice.
Yeah.
Do we know what's preceded in them? Like, do we have an idea?
No. Yeah.
Is it just like a card that's been stamped with that tournament?
That'd be awesome too. I hope they put some secret spice in there though. I'd love like a sample card to be thrown in, a gold signed card,
alternate art or something like that. Like, have that be where you get the alternate art cards of
like full art.
I think like I agree with you, George.
Artist cards would be cool.
This would be great for the LGS support too. I
that'd
know
be
that
awesome.
that's been talked about. We don't have anything final yet, but like I think running with the pre-release decks, like it would be awesome if you could host a pre-release tournament that had some sort of cool prize support that got people to go out and not just buy the pre-release decks because they want the pre-release promo, but an incentive to play in a pre-release event at a local shop. I think that's.
I like the tournament packs. That was a great idea.
I'd like to see some of that. And
we see that the egg might be hatching.
I saw the eggs hatching.
So,
what's
all right.
Inside? Should we all rip open our eggs? Should I be ripping open my egg to see if there's a card?
I think it's a number of cold foil hearts. Same thing that's in the cracked bobble.
I think that
nobody will convince me otherwise.
I think that there's a card inside of all the eggs that you have to rip open the egg to get to.
Don't listen to Louis. He just wants his egg to be rarer. Don't listen to Louis. He just wants his egg to be rarer.
I'm convinced that there's a card in there. I'm sure it's in great condition after. I'm sure it's in great condition after the airplane ride where I shoved my egg into my bag to get it to fit. There's got to be something in there. It's a card. It's a Mothman. Yeah,
a sample Mothman.
Sample Mothman.
An all 500.
That's folded in half and is now a pop one.
That's fine. That's gonna be Louis' grade. That's how Louis grades them anyway. It doesn't matter.
I was gonna have to sleeve it anyway.
Yeah. Same thing, really.
I'd
rather have Mike shove it in the middle of the pillow and like fold it in half to do so than have Louis sleeve my cards. I'll be honest.
I think we're gonna be doing a wilderness stream at some point. You guys are both welcome to join. I don't know.
Offensive.
Thank you, Louis, for inviting me.
That we're in, and everybody else is welcome to join us. Is that what you mean?
No, are we all? We haven't talked about it, but I've been planning it. So you guys are welcome.
I like how he's telling us. Yeah,
on the podcast. It's typical for us. So I think we'll be doing that. It'll be fun to stream the Zoom.
I will have my own stream going on. You guys are all welcome to watch that one instead. Continue, Louis.
I think we should do it on Whatnot. We should just sell the packs for like for $50 each.
They take forever.
You guys want to sell the packs for $50 each? No,
and just give the rest to charity or what?
No, just sell the packs for $50 each. I mean, we gotta make a profit somewhere, right? Like, seems to be the direction.
$50 packs for a brand new set is probably not going to work, Louis.
Worked last weekend. I mean,
I actually do need to get my Whatnot account set up. I have a streamer account.
I am joking. I do not want to sell $50 packs. That was sarcasm, everyone.
Greed.
Little
Greed.
Metazoo drama for you. Why you give me that look, George? You don't want to do I'm not doing
ridiculous.
Whatnot. I'm officially not doing Whatnot. I don't have time for it.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is
George is just dumb. Just dumbfounded. He's like, what am I supposed to say to any of this?
Thanks for the update, Louis. Anything else you want to tell us? Anything else you're not doing?
Sure. You want to get into it?
We know you're not doing. We know you do drugs, and we know you apparently hate Commander.
That is that
he
really
doesn't sell product?
Gosh, you really are.
Yeah.
You really are a reviewer. You really do watch the content. That's not what I said at all. That's the complete opposite of the heart that I have for both of those things. I've never done drugs.
In the title, that's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. I heard you did drugs before.
I've never done drugs, and in addition,
you said you tried weed once.
In addition, I love Commander so much that I hate that WotC's ruining it.
Can we title this episode "Louis Does Drugs" or no?
No, absolutely not. We have to make the $3 I'll probably make from this podcast in ad revenue.
I just snorted.
Unless you want to sponsor the podcast, George, you want to be a sponsor?
Never. I'd rather.
You mentioned compete for it enough. This podcast, I think at least it warrants like $5.
Oh my gosh!
Just match to ad revenue.
Okay,
I have nothing for sale.
Are we done?
We've been done.
All right. Everyone, thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for giving us your time of your day. We appreciate you. If you're watching this on a Friday, have a great rest of your weekend. If you're watching this on not a Friday, I hope you had a great weekend and you have a great weekend coming up. If not, good luck getting through the rest of the week and you'll be great.
If you're watching it in the morning, I hope you have a great day.
Just have a great
If
day.
you're watching it at night, I hope you had a great day and you sleep well. If you're listening to this while you fall asleep, I hope you have nothing but sweet dreams. If you're listening to this while you drive, I hope you drive safe. If you're listening to this while you walk, watch where you're walking. There could be a dog. Anything else you want to add, Louie?
No, this is great. Hope you guys have a great one. Remember to be
Great
kind.
weekend, or day, or night, or walk, or drive, or stroll.
May the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
Oh my God.